before you kill me, give me a chance to explain, okay? Just give me 1 minute, I swear. Watch the video before you judge. Now that we have this first pivotal popular book, we can move on and demand more from our community, right? Right. Hi everybody, I'm Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka JND, and welcome back to another video. If you are a new subscriber here, thank you. I appreciate you so much. It's like really cool seeing like the number grow every day, just even a little. I'm just like, it's exciting. It's so cool. I can see why people get obsessed with subscriber counts, because like, oh, now I'm at 76, now I'm at 77. Oh, I'm so close to 400. Ooh, and like I could see how that may become a new obsession, but I'm just really thankful for everyone who's been subbing. Now, if you clicked on this video, you might be either one of two things: mad at me for saying that The Hate You Give is overhyped, or being like, yes girl, I agree. So whichever side you're on, it's totally valid and justified, but I'm gonna tell you why I think, in my opinion, The Hate You Give is overhyped. Yeah, I think a lot of people have been pretty scared to say this opinion because it's a really well-loved book in the booktube community. And just to start off, I love the book. I love the book The Hate You Give. I think it's really well written. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Synopsis wise, it's about a girl named Star who goes to a private school, but her family still lives kind of in a ghetto area. So there's still lots of issues in that area. So she feels like she is 2 different people. Like, she goes to school and she's just like playing Black and playing Star 2.0, and then at home she's regular Star. And she's dating like a boy who's Caucasian, and she has Caucasian friends in her private school, and then she has her Black friends in her other community. I think the book community has really hyped up this book, and it's a good and bad thing, and I'll explain why it's both. It is a bad thing, in my opinion, that this book is so overhyped, because so many people are telling me that it's a must read, everyone has to do it, that it's the first of its kind, and those are it's just untrue. Like, I feel like everyone should read it, yes, but I also feel like there's so many other books that haven't been tapped into. Like, even I haven't personally tapped into them, and I'm really excited to start diving more into it, because after reading The Hate You Give, you just want more. So if there's someone out there who goes, this is what you need to read and this is it, I have to disagree. Like, I think there is definitely more out there, and there are some that I have read that I will recommend to you guys that I think you guys should read, and they also have their own issues. All books have their own issues, but I just feel like The Hate You Give just is really hyped, and it's kind of like The Cool Prince and all those really hyped books where everyone's like, you have to read it. But in my personal opinion, it's like, it's a good read, and especially for someone who is not of like Black or mixed race, it's good to read, especially if you don't tend to read a diverse book. But I just feel like it's very overhyped. Okay, but I think it's also a good thing that it's hyped, because now we're starting to see more diverse authors, and I love that. I definitely do. It's like she's kind of opened the doorway to having more diverse authors, but at the same time, there's always been diverse authors. It's just they weren't getting hyped up as much as she is right now, Angie Thomas. So it's kind of sad and good that I feel like a lot of authors who have worked really hard and like they've gotten awards and stuff, but they're still not talked about, they're still not digested. People aren't telling you to read them because they're necessary, even though in my opinion they really are, and they sometimes send better messages than The Hate You Give. But I digress. It's still great that now it's becoming more common to see more diverse authors. I just hope it's not a trend. Like, I really hope we stick to it, not just because we are, you know, fantasizing about Black trauma and police brutality and like, ooh, we're gonna learn about how sad all these people's lives are. It's like, no, we also want stories just from anybody's perspective. People are intersectional. Like, every person on this planet is not just one thing. You're not just male or female, or you can be binary, you can be bisexual, you can be asexual, demisexual, you can be like, there's so many layers to people. So diversity does not mean brown. In my opinion, it's just overhyped. And now I'm gonna get into the part where I recommend some books to you, because I clearly don't want to just throw shade at The Hate You Give. And I loved it. Oh my god, don't get me wrong, I love it. But I'm hoping for more now. Now that we have this first pivotal popular book, we can move on and demand more from our community, right? Right. Okay, so the very first book I think everyone should read, and this one's a really tough one because it's really sad. And for the same reasons why I didn't like The Hate U Give, I didn't very much like this because the resolution was low. There's like none. But it is Jacqueline Woodson's If You Come Softly. This book will make you cry horrendous tears. But it's about a African-American male and a Jewish girl who fall in love, and it's basically a playoff of Romeo and Juliet, and that kind of gives away the ending, but you kind of know that going in, and then seeing it unfold. It's very short, it's very hard-hitting. I gave this one it's like a 3.7 for book rating to me. Because of the lack of resolution, it also upsets me, but at the same time, it's like, I understand that people don't get that resolution, that when you lose people, that there's grief, and there's no way to write a lyrical paragraph and fix everything, because sometimes things just can't be fixed. But this book is really great if you love romance, and if you love reading about different cultures mixing and family dilemmas and how people deal with their family, because this book really does a great job with that. So yeah, I highly recommend Jacqueline Woodson's If You Come Softly. Another Jacqueline Woodson book that I really loved was Harbor Me. It was so amazing. I still don't have a physical copy yet, but it's just so good because, and not all these books are going to talk about police brutality, because I don't feel like that is the only subject that a Black person should be talking about, you know, because there's so many other underlying aspects that happen in life. So Harbor Me is about a bunch of students who are in a special needs class. And their teacher sends them off to go talk to each other because they're going through a lot. They're in middle school, their lives are changing. I don't want to spoil too much, but all their backgrounds kind of come flooding forward, and it's a mixed group. So you hear everyone's perspective, and I think it's the most beautiful thing that anyone could ever read, because it's not just about the brown girl's perspective on why she may not like her white friend at the moment. No, it's you hear both sides. You hear what people are going through, and it's so beautiful. And this was definitely a 5-star read, one of my favorite books of 2018, and I really think more people need to be talking about this book because it's incredible. Hallelujah, Jacqueline Woodson. She's a fave author. The next one I haven't really talked about on my channel too much, which is sad, but I got it during December and the holidays, and I read it real fast. So it is In My Skin, but wow, even though it's really short, and I think it's considered middle grade, it's really good. It really talks about how it feels to be in someone's skin that is not accepted, is judged for it, feels ugly for it, and then how she deals with her friendships and her romantic life and basically being bullied. It's like, this is how she handles being bullied in school and not feeling comfortable in her skin. Malika's a young student. She's very dark, very curvaceous, very loud, and she just gets bullied. There's a lot of people who bully her for her skin in particular, and then a new teacher comes into school and kind of enlightens her. It's a rough path though. It's a rough path of enlightenment. But she basically learns what is important in life. What am I getting out of this? What am I putting into life, and what am I gonna get out? And is it what I want? Am I doing what I want? It just has so many great messages, and I really need more people to talk and read this book. Okay, just do it. This next one I know I've talked a lot about, but it is Piercing Me Together by Renee Watson. I think if you like The Hate U Give, but you wanted more, this is it. This is the key. This is the pinnacle. I feel like this book really addresses everything, but does it in such a great way. This is a story about a girl named Jade. She's in high school, and she's going to a kind of upper class school, even though she lives in the ghetto, kind of like how Star was, and she works so hard but gets so little from the school. The academic programs she's put in are always lesser than the others. It's really hard to explain, but you have to read it. But she is not given the same opportunities as other people, and she's calling people out on it. And she's also then noticing that people aren't going to give you opportunities, and I have to create my own opportunities. And she's willing to go out there and ask for them or demand them, and it's lovely. And it's a very interesting book where she also has some relationship issues with her family and dealing with that on top of having a mentor. And it's just so beautiful. She's a young, big black girl, and she's very vocal, and it's such a beautifully written book, and it tackles so much, and it just also makes you so like angry at the same time but happy and hopeful. So yeah, it also tackles friendship in that way that I wanted The Hate You Give to do. So yeah, this is a must. This is like a must. Like everyone says read The Hate You Give. Yes, yeah, but really read this, please. It's short, you can do it. I believe in you. Do it. Okay, the next one I also have talked about a lot, so I won't talk about it too much, but I think Dear Martin by Nick Stone is an obvious must read in my opinion. I feel like, I know a lot of people prefer The Hate You Give over Dear Martin, but in my opinion, I think Dear Martin is, I like the writing. It's a little bit more humorous, and even though it tackles such a serious issue, which I think is needed because people don't realize that like when you're living life, of course the bad moments stick out, but there's also so much good. And I really love how Dear Martin tackles that relationship conflict of, well, my mom doesn't want me dating this white person. Like that's a lot to say. And I feel like The Hate You Give, you know, the parents just go, you know, oh, okay. Whereas in this one, it's like there's more conflict and there's more like communication and trying to figure it out, because there are people out there in the world who don't want you to date someone of a different race. That's just fact. Like there's still people out there who believe that strongly, and it's an issue that younger people are going to have to deal with, and I love how this book tackles it. And then on top of that, tackling grief, because there's so much grief in this book, and it's handled, in my opinion, so well, because it also gives you a different perspective of grief. The two friends, the main character and the kind of antagonist, they kind of go through grief together, and you learn from both of them, and it's just so amazing. And please, please, please read it. Those are my really big recommendations. Also, my goal for this year is to read way more books and make way more recommendations. The Blackathon literally starts tomorrow, because I'm filming this on like the 23rd. What day? The 31st. So my goal for this year is to read way more and make way more recommendations, and I'm so excited for the Blackathon and the booktube games, and I'm gonna read more and definitely recommend more, because I feel like we get really stuck on these overhyped books, like these classics that you have to read, but it's like there's so much good healthy stuff out there already or coming out right now that is getting ignored, that's not being talked about enough. So yeah, I hope this starts a discussion. Maybe comment down below, what are some books that you think that I have to read? Okay, well that's it for my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't. If you are watching this and you're not subscribed, just subscribe. What you do? Well, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.